Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Battle Series, the School of Hard Knocks. So throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Pokemon Global Link Battle Spotlight, playing under the Championship Battle rules, which are the equivalent rule set of the VGC 2017 season. So we kicked off the week again, playing this Togedemaru team. We made a few changes on Monday from what we were playing on Friday. We've got the inclusion of Bravery in the team and the Arcanine as well. So we're going to jump straight onto the battle spot today, hopefully find some really good opponents. The ladder has reset, so it is a brand new season, so we'll be starting off with a fresh record of 1500, which is kind of nice, I guess, because I felt a bit, I don't know, like I wasn't super happy with how the games went on Monday's episode, to be honest. The first game was pretty straightforward, but that second game, I think we were just very reckless in what we were doing. And, you know, sometimes when you kind of look back on a game, you get a bit disappointed with just thinking, I shouldn't have been so risky in those situations. So hopefully we can turn that around today. We're going to revamp the team analyzer at the end of this episode, so do stay tuned for that. And thank you again, guys, just for all the support that you've given me around that. It's been absolutely overwhelming, the feedback, so do keep it coming because it is massively important to help improve that. But on to today's first opponent. They are running a team of Gengar, Tapu Koko, Kartana, Arcanine, Tapu Fini and Salamence. So, a couple of really kind of unique Pokemon that we don't generally see in the VGC format. One being that Gengar, obviously, which is a fast threat to a lot of things on my team, and the Salamence as well. Another Intimidate user for my opponent, but another reason for us to kind of bring Bravery here. So I do want to include it in the team. It's gonna, with the Scarf, it's gonna be able to outspeed the majority of my opponent's team, pending they're not scarfing anything on their side of the field. But what else do we want to bring with that Bravery? I think we do need Togedemaru. Togedemaru is quite nice here as well. I don't know if I want to lead it. You know, I'm kind of tempted to go with what we went with on Monday with the Garchomp. But then I want Arcanine for sure, and the Togedemaru as well. So let's lock in with that 4. I think it was a very similar 4 to what we actually brought to that game on Monday. So let's see if we can kind of make a bit of an improvement on it. Nerves are setting in now. We've got to do a lot better job. I think we just needed to think through what we were doing. I don't think we thought through enough. The consequences have just been so rash on Monday in that second game. So we see our opponent lead off. No Intimidate, quite smart. With the Tapu Fini and that Gengar. Now, we lead off with Bravery and Garchomp. The battle, it hasn't, it's still processing. So what can we do here? We threaten obviously the Gengar with the Earthquake straight away, and eventually everything kicks in. So we get the Misty Terrain up from the Tapu Fini. We could technically, we could either double into the Tapu Fini with a Brave Bird and an Earthquake, or we could double into the Gengar. Or do we want to keep the Bravery around for later on in the game? I kind of feel like I want to go for the Earthquake and the Brave Bird into the Tapu Fini, but we could also go for a U-turn, but then I can't go for the Earthquake if I do that. I'm just going to go for the Brave Bird and the Earthquake. So there's the Brave Bird. As I say, we could have went for that Gengar. It's probably sashed, but if Bravery can hang on this turn, we do so much damage. The Earthquake's gonna pick up the KO here. So we are gonna lose Bravery again, but it's a bit different this time around because we are gonna possibly bring that Gengar down to its sash, and we're gonna be able to get rid of that Tapu Fini, which is nice. And Gengar's gonna come away unscathed here, so that is really nice. Gengar does reveal the sash, but we do take down that Tapu Fini, so kind of an eye for an eye there. Bravery for the Tapu Fini. Now, who do I want to bring in? What's my opponent likely to bring in here? The Salamence, maybe. Let's go for Togedemaru. And we'll keep the Arcanine in the back just for that Intimidate later on if we do feel like we need it. And there's Tapu Koko. Okay. So do not mind that at all. We've got to be a bit careful for the Twinkle Tackle, but again, I don't mind that too much. Now we can't fake out the Gengar here because it's a Ghost type. We could fake out the Tapu Koko. Yeah, I think it's probably not a bad idea just going for the fake out onto the Tapu Koko, to be honest. And a Rock Slide maybe with Garchomp. Like the Tapu Koko is probably going to protect here. You've got to imagine it'll protect here. The Gengar, we're not too threatened with the Garchomp from the Gengar. We do see the protect from the Tapu Koko. We've obviously got to be aware of Hidden Part Ice could potentially come out. Do get the fake out into that protect there. And there's a Destiny Bond. This is not good because we're going to lose Garchomp here. If the Rock Slide hits, does it miss the Gengar? Do we get lucky? No. Okay. So, nice play from my opponent. We do get that Cursed Body activated, but it's not going to matter at all because Garchomp is going to go down because of that Destiny Bond. So really nice play from my opponent, taking advantage of that Gengar there, and we've got our Arcanine as our last Pokemon to bring in here. And it is the Salamence. Okay. This might be a bit difficult to close out. But we are going to get an Intimidate. We do see that we are actually faster than that Salamence as well. And no Intimidate from the Salamence. So is that a Moxie Salamence? It would seem like it is. I wonder if... I think I'm going to go for it because we've got the electric terrain up. So we'll go for the Gigavolt Havoc and a Helping Hand, I think, with the Togedemaru. And that might be enough with the electric terrain to take the Salamence down. And especially because we haven't been intimidated as well. That should be enough to take the Salamence down. Tapu Koko is kind of forced here to go for Dazzling Gleams. And because we know the Arcanine's outspeeding the Salamence, well, we don't actually, because the Salamence didn't reveal Intimidate, so it might actually be faster. But we are actually faster than it, so that's good to know. A little panic there for a minute, but we are going to get this Gigavolt Havoc off, and hopefully Helping Hand is enough to take down the Salamence. We did see that Tapu Koko just go for the Thunderbolt there, maybe forgetting about the Lightning Rod on the Togedemaru. But there should be enough. Should be, yeah, plenty enough. So that's good. We take the Salamence down. And it should be pretty easy for us to clean up the rest of the game with Togedemaru. So I'll just go for a Zing Zap and let's just go for a Flare Blitz. We don't need to really faff around here at all. And my opponent just forfeits. So, not a bad start. Again, a bit risky in places. I did like the Gengar though. Totally, I think it's because I haven't really played too many of them this season. You forget about the different techs that Gengars do carry, and you know, predominantly they do regularly carry Destiny Bond, especially with that Focus Sash. It is very good, as we saw there, to take down Garchomp from full health, which was super good, especially when you've got Tapu Koko in the back or sitting next to you and you want to get rid of that ground threat. It's a very good tech, because you know that unless the Garchomp is scarfed, you're always going to be outspeeding it with the Gengar because of that base speed. But not a bad start anyway. And we have, this is my good friend William Tansley. So you guys probably do know him. He's one of the top players in the UK. I think he's 3rd or 4th in the championship rankings in Europe. He's already locked himself a day 2 invite, and this is going to be a really good match. I'm really looking forward to this. So we've got Will playing a team of Tapu Koko, Arcanine, Garchomp, Celesteela, Alolan Ninetales, and Snorlax. So, what are we going to do here? Okay, obviously I do like Bravery here a lot. I And Bravery Togedemaru here is quite nice because it gives us a bit of flexibility around the Ninetales. So I think I might lead that. Just with the fake out to stop the instant Auroraville that you would see kind of coming up. The Snorlax, we're going to need to kind of preserve and be very careful with our Togedemaru here. I feel like we definitely need Arcanine as well, just for the Celesteela. The Intimidate's going to be good on everything. Should we go Tapu Fini or Snorlax here? That is the question. Tapu Fini could be really strong here if we can kind of position it right, especially with the choice specs. So let's go with Tapu Fini, leave the Snorlax at home. We haven't brought the Snorlax yet at all, so it'll be interesting to see what it performs like when we do end up bringing it. So let's see what Will is going to lead off with. So we're going to lead the Togedemaru Bravery, and we see Will lead off with the Alolan Ninetales and Arcanine. So instantly we're going to proc the Define ability on our Bravery, which puts us in a really nice position to start like firing off some big powerful Brave Birds, because we should be picking up the KO onto that Arcanine now, on +1. Even on like the bulkiest of Arcanines. So I think what I'm going to do is go for a fake out into the Ninetales and just a Brave Bird. As the Ninetales gonna, yeah, we need to stop the Auroraville really potentially coming out. I'm just going to go for a Brave Bird into the Arcanine and hope that we do pick up the KO here onto it, which should protect our Togedemaru going into the next turn. So Ninetales does protect, blocking that fake out, and yeah, no protect from the Arcanine, so we've got to hope that this Brave Bird does pick up the KO, which it should do, On like max HP, a bit of invested Arcanine, it's a roll, so yeah, we get a bit lucky there, but it was a roll anyway, so we do pick up the KO onto the Arcanine, which is nice. Get rid of that big threat, which helps us, like I said, protect that Togedemaru. I will speak to Will and see what his EV spread was and see how lucky and fortunate we were there with that crit, but I'm pretty sure that like even the bulkiest Arcanines, it's a really high roll. It's like 70 odd minimum percent that we've got a chance to one hit KO it, so it would have to be max. Right, so we've got the Snorlax hitting the field now. What we could do is, I think Will probably has its Tapu Koko in the back. So I could go for a Brave Bird into the Snorlax, and I could go for a Spiky Shield, to be honest. I think that's what I'm going to do. Go for a Spiky Shield with the Togedemaru. And I'm going to attack into the Ninetales, because there's probably a high horsepower coming out for the Snorlax. If it starts setting up, then we can lock it in next turn with an Encore. But Will's obviously aware of this, so he probably won't try this setup just yet. He'll probably go for the Auroraville here though, with the Ninetales, and then a high horsepower into that Togedemaru. Oh, he just goes straight for the Blizzard, so not messing around. Just wants to get rid of the Bravery, which is a good play. So Bravery does go down, but it's done a lot of work, so it's fine. We don't mind that too much. And there's a high horsepower. Okay. So we do a little bit of chip to Snorlax. Right. Now I think what I'm going to do is switch in Arcanine. Yeah, let's switch in Arcanine, get the Intimidate onto that Snorlax. And I'm going to switch in Tapu Fini and go for a Could I get away with a Flare MZ? We're probably going to see the Aurora Veil though come up now, so it's probably not worth it. I'm just going to go for a... Yeah, I'm going to go for the Flare Blitz into the Ninetales to try and get rid of it. I've got to hope that that Snorlax continually goes for that high horsepower into the Togedemaru to try and get rid of it. So we do switch it out, bring in the Tapu Fini. We will set up that Misty Terrain as well. Snorlax actually withdraws, so we're going to see Celesteela come in. Okay, which is fine. And Ninetales just protects. Okay. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do now is just go for Muddy Water with Tapu Fini. I want to switch out my my Arcanine into my Togedemaru. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So we've got the Fake Out the next turn. And we've still got Arcanine in the back to kind of cycle that Intimidate if we need it. The Celesteela is probably going to protect here. We're probably going to see an Aurora Veil come up from the Ninetales. So we've just got to hope that Muddy Water hits here. There's the Aurora Veil. And there's the Muddy Water. No protect from that Celesteela though, so it's probably just going for a Leech Seed. Do hit both targets and get an accuracy drop, which is huge. And there's the Leech Seed. And it's into that Tapu Fini, so that's fine. So I want to get Tapu Fini out of here because we do have Haze on it, but we don't want to get to the point where we've got nothing in the back to switch out for the Tapu Fini to take advantage of that Haze. And we want to reset the Leech Seed damage as well. So we kind of need to stall out the Aurora Veil as well. That's the other thing. So we do see the Snorlax hit the field again. Let us switch out Fini into Arcanine. Might be a bit obvious, so Will might see through this, but I don't know. We'll just go for a Spiky Shield with the Togedemaru. We'll not worry about going for the Fake Out here. Thing is, if we fake out the Snorlax, we get Leech Seeded from the Celesteela. If we fake out the Celesteela, we get high horsepower from the Snorlax. So we may just see a high horsepower into the Arcanine slot though, but I don't mind that too much at this point. So there's a Leech Seed. Yeah, we'll call on it. So into that Tapu Fini slot, and probably high horsepower in that slot as well. But into the Togedemaru. So he's not wanting to fall into the trap where we can utilize the Encore. That's the thing we've got at the moment. But it's not ideal that we've got this Leech Seed hanging over our heads. And we could double into Celesteela here, but it is very threatened. Like, we threaten it big style with our Arcanine and our Togedemaru. But Togedemaru, we have to kind of... I want to switch the Arcanine out because we've got the Leech Seed onto it. I'm going to go for Inferno Overdrive. No, I'm not going to waste it. I don't really want to waste it. So I'm just going to go for Flare Blitz into that. Oh, I can't switch out. I can't switch out. I've run out of time. I've timed out. This is terrible. Oh. And no protects at all. Flare Blitz going into the Arcanine. We'll proc the berry. But we're going to lose Togedemaru here. Proc the berry on the Snorlax. This is not good. This is why we need to be more... Okay, so And there's a high horsepower. Into the Arcanine though. Alright. Okay. I don't want to lose the Arcanine, that's the thing. I'm just going to spike his shield with Togedemaru, switch Arcanine out and keep it. Bring Tapu Fini in. If we hadn't timed out there. Silly boy. One of the things we could try and do is lock the Celesteela into Leech Seed, but it's not really helping us. Okay, so the Leech Seed is into that Tapu Fini. We do avoid it though, which is pretty nice. But now we're in a position where we don't want to switch out. I wonder if a Hydro Pump and a Zingzap is going to be enough to take down the Snorlax. I don't think it is. Let's go for Muddy Water and go for... the Gigavolt Havoc isn't going to be enough to take down the Snorlax, the Celesteela behind that Aurora Veil. That's the only problem. But it might be enough with a Muddy Water. Could be. I think we could probably go for it. Kind of don't want to lose the Togedemaru though, and we need to kind of make a decision. So let's go for it. Let's go for the Zingzak, the Gigavolt Havoc into the Celesteela and the Muddy Water. No Protect coming out again. We are going to get this Gigavolt Havoc into the Celesteela. But I feel like the Snorlax now, unless we get super lucky, we could get a Muddy Water accuracy drop onto the Snorlax. It could miss the high horsepower. That would help us out massively, but we don't really want to be relying on the RNG to do this, so let's see what the damage is like. It's nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. We do get the Muddy Water, we do hit. We're going to get these accuracy drops that we need. We get one on Snorlax. Celesteela going for the Leech Seed. Okay. So you never know. The high horsepower might miss. But it doesn't. It does hit, and the Togedemaru does go down. Okay. And Celesteela going to restore some health with that Leech Seed. But we do have the Arcanine to bring in, but the thing is it's so low in health. And the Aurora Veil eventually wears off. So, how is this Snorlax looking? Because we could double into the Snorlax now and we probably will be able to pick up the KO. But the Celesteela then probably is going to be able to stall us out. That's the problem. But we do threaten the KO. We could probably pick up the KO onto the Snorlax with a Muddy Water and a Flare Blitz. And we don't want it recycling, so that's the thing. So we'll just go for that. Let's go for the Flare Blitz and the Muddy Water. Hopefully the Muddy Water hits. We need it to. We don't want the Snorlax. If it gets the recycle off, then it's game over for us. The Arcanine will go down, but you know, even the damage, now the Aurora Veil's off, we might be able to pick up the KO onto the Celesteela with the Muddy Water as well. Just from the damage it was doing while the Aurora Veil was up. So you never know. We just need the Muddy Water to hit. That's all we need, I feel. So Celesteela protects. Okay, this is not too bad. We are going to lose the Arcanine here. So, come on Muddy Water. Can you hit? Can you connect? Arcanine goes down to recoil. Come on Finny, get those glasses on. We hit, we hit, we hit. We do hit. Is it going to be enough though? It is enough. Right, okay, so now I don't know if we're going to have enough with the single target, half health Celesteela. I don't know if we're going to have enough. It's going to be, nah, no way, I don't think a Muddy Water is going to be enough. Not even single target. So we'll just go for it. We're locked into it. We've not really got too many other options. We do hit. See, is it going to be enough? I don't think so. No, so close. Heavy slam. What's the damage going to be like? Okay, we take that. Okay. We might get away with it. I think he's going to need a double protect. Still going to be very close. I think he's going to need a double protect. So we'll go for protect here, get some health back. And he'll need that double, I think, to get it. So come on, come on, can we get it? Can we get it? Okay. Let's see what the health's like. I think we might be able to do it, so we just need the muddy water to hit. Alright, let's go for it. Get those goggles back on, Tapu Fini. Oh, but he gets the double protect. Oh. I guess that kind of makes up maybe for that crit earlier on, but as I say, I don't think that really mattered too much. And now we're going to go down to leech seed damage, I think. Are we? Yeah. Going down to a double protect. How dare you, Will. Good game, mate. Very close. But all I say is that you needed that double protect to win the match. Otherwise, you were gone. And I cocked up a turn with timing out. So I think I should have taken that. But never mind. That was a good game. That was a really good game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's always a pleasure playing Will in a very close game there. But kind of really showing how strong Celesteela is. Even in those end games, you know, Celesteela Snorlax very, very strong, and something, you know, he played it very well. He wasn't falling into the trap of setting that Snorlax up. He didn't want to get encored. He's very aware of that. Bit disappointing. I think there was points in that match where we could have done, if we, you know, made better plays. We didn't time out, and we weren't so unlucky with that double protect at the end. I think we would have probably taken it, but that's just one of those things. We can't really complain about that too much, but we'll have a look at some of the aspects of that game in our episode analyzer, because I don't think we're going to do the first episode, but we will cover this second one. And we'll have a look at some key points. It might not be very long, but I think that's the idea, just to take snippets from the battles and look at where we could have went a bit differently with some plays and stuff like that. There was definitely turns there where we could have played it a bit differently, but I think overall it wasn't too bad. And like I say, it did really come down to just my opponent getting a double protect at the end, and you know, you can't really do anything about that sometimes. But we'll take a look at it and we'll have a look. So we'll be back in 1 second with the analyzer. So see you in a bit, guys. Bye. Hi guys, so we're back with our VGC episode analyzer. So in today's games, we saw us go up against two opponents. Our first game was pretty straightforward, but it's the second game that we're going to concentrate on. So we came up against my good friend William Tansley. Magus is his username, and he was running a team, as we can see in team preview, that Tapu Koko, the Arcanine, Garchomp, Celesteela, Alolan Ninetales, and Snorlax. So he's got really kind of good stuff sort of team going on here, quite standard at the minute, and very similar to what Paul Schuau run at the US internationals recently. You've got the Ninetales there for the Aurora Veil support to help set up that Snorlax. You've got the Garchomp. We didn't see it. Could potentially be scarfed, so we'd have to be preparing for that. Celesteela, it's going to be a pain, so we're going to need at least Togedemaru and probably Arcanine to bring against that. Arcanine itself, that intimidates, you know, it's going to be a big problem for my team. That's why we kind of want to probably bring the Bravery, and the Tapu Koko again kind of supporting why we want to bring the Togedemaru. So I think the selection here from ourselves was pretty good. We knew that if we got a Defiant boost, if we saw that Arcanine, that it's going to make Bravery a lot more threatening with the Choice Scarf. It's not going to outspeed the Garchomp, but it's still going to be doing a lot of damage. And the thing is, if Garchomp comes up against it, it's going to have to lock itself into potentially Rock Slide to be hitting it for really good damage. We're immune to the Earthquake, so we've got a nice switch in there. So I don't think our selection, so we led off with the, what did we lead off with here? Let me think. So we led off with Bravery and I think we led Bravery and Garchomp. No, we didn't even bring Garchomp, did we? We led Bravery, Togedemaru, sorry. So you have to excuse me here. So we led Bravery, Togedemaru. I don't think that was a wrong lead at all. The fake out pressure gave us that option against the Alola Ninetales to stop the Aurora Veil support. But what we'll do, guys, we'll go straight into that turn 1 screen. So we've got it here. So we lead off with Togedemaru, Bravery. Will leads off with the Arcanine and Ninetales. So I know from my damage calculations that the Bravery, once it gets a defined boost, Arcanine have to be extremely bulky. Like I think against 244, 36 defense EVs, we've got like a 70% roll on one hit KOing after the defined boost onto things like Arcanine, which I don't think my opponent knew about at the time. So we could quite safely go for the Brave Bird into that slot and fake out into the Ninetales. The other option we could have gone for here, because we kind of know the Ninetales has to really protect here, it doesn't want its sash to get broken for it to be picked off later in the game, is we could have just kind of called the bluff on that protect and went for the fake out and the Brave Bird into the Arcanine, which would have kind of sealed the deal. We did get lucky in this turn, and we got a critical hit Brave Bird into the Arcanine. I have spoke to Will since the episode, and yeah, I think we had like an 81% chance to pick up the one hit KO regardless of the critical hit anyway, so the roll was in our favour. You know, there is the chance that he would have survived, but I think most of the time we were fine making that play safe. We were stopping the Aurora Veil getting set up that turn, which we wanted to do, forcing the Ninetales really not to attack here or switch out. And we could take down the Arcanine, which is a big threat, and that's what we kind of ended up doing. So turn 1 it went extremely well for us. Turn 2 wasn't too bad. We saw the Arcanine go down, we saw the Snorlax come in. We did see the Ninetales not opt to go for the Aurora Veil turn 2. It just went straight for that Blizzard to get rid of the Bravery. We did take it down to its sash though, which was pretty nice. Then the Snorlax obviously went for the target into the Togedemaru turn 2. I spiky shielded, so it did take a bit of residual damage. Turn 3, I didn't want Togedemaru to go down so early. It does resist the Blizzard, but I wanted to get off the field. Those high horsepowers are just too threatening. So turn 3, what I do is I bring in, I've obviously got Arcanine on the field when my Bravery went down turn 2, so I threaten the Ninetales now, and I switch out Togedemaru for the Tapu Fini. Now, in this situation, the Ninetales, I think this is one of the maybe a key point where it could have went. The Ninetales is obviously threatened here, probably expecting an extreme speed, so the protect was obvious. It wasn't something we thought about at the time. My opponent doesn't know we haven't got extreme speed, so the protect there, I think this is kind of one of those key turns where we switched out the Togedemaru and we could have just targeted the Snorlax with a Flare Blitz just to get some damage off onto it. And if we had done that, I think we would have caught the Celesteela, which did come in on that Snorlax slot, and would have made it a lot easier for us to deal with late game. We had the Tapu Fini there, the Ninetales was down to its sash, so we were just going to be constantly putting on a lot of pressure. I think that was the first mistake we made. I think not reading the protect from the Ninetales. Obviously we were very you know, aware that the Aurora Veil could come up at this point, but I think we didn't need to worry about it too much. I think it was going to be inevitable when it was going to come out, so we kind of should have really maybe concentrated down that other slot. And this turn I feel like is a turn where, you know, the Snorlax feels like it I don't know why Will switched out here, because we had the Togedemaru here. You know, the Snorlax could have went for that. Obviously, Will might have just predicted a switch there, wanted to get the Snorlax out, get the Celesteela in. Probably didn't expect a Flare Blitz into that slot. Maybe expecting, well, you wouldn't have expected a Will-O-Wisp into that slot, but maybe just scouting out what the Arcanine was going to go for there. But as I say, if we'd kind of scouted that protect from the Ninetales and just targeted down that Snorlax slot just to get some damage onto it, because on -1, and that's the reason why he's probably switched out, because of the Intimidate onto the Snorlax, just to reset that. So if we kind of just read into it a bit more and targeted down that slot, it would have made things a bit easier for us. We would have chunked the Celesteela. You know, we probably would have KO'd it with at least put a lot of pressure onto it the next turn with the muddy water, and then, you know, from the flare blitz damage that we've done from that turn. So we do see here we've got the Celesteela out in the field with the Ninetales. Now this is another point where I feel like I probably made a little bit of a mistake reading into Will's play of the Celesteela being out in the field, heavily threatened. Arcanine isn't intimidated. We do have that Flareon Z that we could take advantage of here, but Will doesn't know that either. Now he knows that he's going to get the Aurora Veil up. This is probably his last chance to get it up before that Ninetales goes down. He could switch it out, but does he really want to switch it at this point? I think the Ninetales has done its job. It's not really going to be hitting anything on my side, they feel, for too much damage either with the Blizzard. So I think here's the time for him to get the Aurora Veil up. We know we can take it down with a Muddy Water, so we're free to just do that with Tapu Fini. But what I really probably should have done here was go for that Flareon Z into the Celesteela slot. Because even with the Aurora Veil up, I think we probably would have been able to put it at least in. We may have picked up the KO there with the Muddy Water damage on top of that, but we would have at least put so much pressure onto it that it wasn't able to kind of operate. We don't go for that though. We switch in the Togedemaru, expecting the Celesteela to protect, knowing that we're going to take the Ninetales down for the Snorlax to come in next turn, so we can take advantage of the fake out and maybe get another Muddy Water off. But that's not what happens. Will kind of plays through that, doesn't protect the Celesteela, gets an important Leech Seed onto the Tapu Fini, which kind of starts the roll there. We do take the Ninetales down, so it is his Celesteela and Snorlax, but they are behind an Aurora Veil. And now I'm in the position where I need to switch out my Tapu Fini because I don't want it just sitting on the field taking attacks from the Snorlax and just residual Leech Seed damage every turn, so I did want to reset that. So we do see me switch things up a little bit. I did switch the Arcanine out that previous turn into the Togedemaru, predicting the protect on that Celesteela, and just this turn, so this is turn 5 we're talking about now, I switch out the Arcanine into the Tapu Fini into the Arcanine to reset that Leech Seed. But again, Will reads into that really well, Leech Seeding into that slot, keeping his pressure up and still not protecting that Celesteela. I do protect my Togedemaru the previous turn. Now this is turn 6 that we're going into now, and this is the turn that I misclicked. Now what I was really wanting to do was switch out Togedemaru here, reset the Leech Seed or potential Leech Seed onto that slot, and I should have just Flare Blitzed into the Celesteela here. There was no problem in doing that. Unfortunately, because I went for the fake out, timed out, fake out, did nothing, and I lost Togedemaru, and that really kind of put us in a bad spot. The next turn we do get Tapu Fini in. The Snorlax has burnt its berry, and we go for that. We go for the Flare Blitz, and actually we get away with it this turn because we don't lose the Togedemaru here. We get Leech Seeded, I think, this turn, and we take a high horsepower into the Arcanine. That's what happens, yeah. And then the Arcanine's on like a tiny minuscule amount of HP, so we switch that out to preserve it. We bring in the Tapu Fini on that slot. That's when Will predicts the Tapu Fini switch in on that slot, Leech Seeding it again, and this is the turn we Spiky Shield. The next turn we're kind of locked because we get away with it here. Togedemaru does get Leech Seeded that turn. Pretty much what we should have done was switch out the Togedemaru instead of going for the attack, and we could have actually just doubled into the Celesteela, but there's always the threat of it protecting, and I think that's what I was a bit scared of, and I should have just been a bit more forthright with my selections there. So pretty much from that point on, we do get a double into the Snorlax. As I said, it did burn its berry, so we were able to get a Flare Blitz and a Muddy Water. Muddy Waters did hit, fortunately, everyone that we fired off here. Took down the Snorlax, and then it was just a Celesteela and the Tapu Fini at this point. We did get it down to a point where we probably could have won, but then Will got that double protect off. But unfortunately, that is one of the things in the game, and I said to Will after the game, you know, I would have went for the double protect there because it was the best play. It was the best play. You had the best odds of winning that game doing that play. You know, you got more chance of that being pulling off than a Muddy Water missing at that point, so you kind of want to go for that. I think there's obviously a couple of turns there where we just could have taken advantage of. Like I said, the protect on that Ninetales, I think turn 3 was one of them. if we targeted into the Snorlax slot, caught the Celesteela, it would have made the game a lot easier. Obviously the timeout didn't help either, and then the double protect at the end. But I'm not taking anything away from Will. Solid player, and he's such a great guy, and we're going to get him on the channel very soon, so do stay tuned for that. I hope the analyzer today is a bit better, guys. I've kind of tried to cut it down a bit more and go through it a bit more fluid. I've just added the screenshots rather than flicking back and forth through the videos, but I think there's some just key bits in the match that we could have went way smoother, and it's something to think about, and it's really good actually just doing this and really trying to identify the points. I know there's still a long way to go with this analyzer and getting it really spot on, but hopefully as we go through the episodes and we keep doing them, pulling out one match maybe from one of 3 matches that we do, and do that and see how we get on. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, guys. If you've enjoyed the video overall, please leave a like on it. It's massively appreciated. I would love to hear your feedback again on what you think of the analyzer and the video and the matchups and everything like that. If you've got any comments, do let me know. They're massively appreciated. I love hearing your feedback about the games and just what we're doing on the channel at the minute. But we'll leave it there. We will be back with a QR code episode later on this evening, so do stay tuned for that. And we'll be back with our Battle Spot double series tomorrow, so hopefully we'll have some idea on times and things for the weekend, so we can talk about that, and then we'll finish off with another School of Hard Knocks on Friday. So until then, guys, you take care of yourselves. Thanks as always for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you later on this evening and on Friday for our next episode. So until then, guys, bye bye.